Chris Perkins is a columnist for the Sun Sentinel. He is on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. And like a superhero, Perk is here to talk a little football with us. Crowder is in San Francisco. He is boots on the ground when it comes to our Super Bowl coverage. He just hasn't returned to his microphone at this very moment. So I was trying to wait until he got there, but I'll just start without Crowder being at his microphone. Hello, Perk.
Hey, I'm excited, Hawk. It is Super Bowl Monday, and I was in Mobile for the Senior Bowl last week. So we got draft, we got Super Bowl, we got the Dolphins rounding out their coaching staff. It's a good time.
Well, Dolphins, tell me what you think of it. They're going to be Green Bay South, it seems like, right? Starting in the front office and then trickling down to the head coach and assistant coaches. They are Green Bay South, correct?
Yeah. It's shaping up to be that way, right? With Sean Duggan as the defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley as the head coach, John Eric Sullivan as the GM, got a couple of position coaches. The big question is what happens with Malik Willis, the quarterback. Do they invite Malik Willis down to take a shot at being the starter? But look, Hawk, there's worse organizations that you could copy from, right? Copying from Green Bay is a good thing. They know how to get things done. They plan from the top on down, meaning from the GM on down. And so I like the plan so far. I like the hires of Sullivan and Hafley, and I like how they're filling out the coaching staff. Of course, it's wait and see ultimately, but I like the way that they're progressing, and I like what I've heard from both of them.
Well, do you think, because you mentioned Malik Willis, Crowder has said before, hey, just keep Tua next season, ride with him. That was met, by the way, with much pushback on our social media comments page.
Good. But it should have been.
But should it be Tua next season or Quinn Ewers, or will it be, do you think, Malik Willis?
I think it still remains to be seen. I'm not a Malik Willis believer because of what he's going to demand salary-wise compared to his body of work. This is a guy who has, I believe, 4 years in the league, right? 2 with Tennessee and 2 with Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen enough. And he's probably going to get, I don't know, $20 million, $15, $20 million. If he doesn't win that starting job, that's the same as dead money. And there's no guarantee he's going to win the starting job. I'm not just going to gift Malik Willis the starting job. I don't know what they do at quarterback, quite honestly. I don't think it's that far of a stretch for Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback, to move up to number 11. He's right now between 16 and 20 in mock drafts. Maybe the Jets, maybe Pittsburgh. Quarterbacks always move up. I'm not a Ty Simpson fan either. I'm not a Quinn Ewers fan as the starter. Quite honestly, I don't know right now what the Dolphins should do at starting quarterback, but I don't think any of those three that I named, Simpson, Willis, or Ewers, is ultimately the answer.
And Perk, this is my thing with the Tua. We already owe him $50 million. Like the Ty Simpson, I like that more than Malik Willis or Solana brought up Kirk Cousins, who's, not going to be in Atlanta. Like what? Not who is it? Not a name. What's the goal at quarterback? Are we trying to find the franchise guy? Are we trying to have a gap year? Because my whole thing with Tua is we owe him $50 million. Let him do the gap year. And I know that's going to not going to excite a lot of people, but you could paint it as he has a new offensive coordinator. He has a new head coach. Let's see what Tua can do. And if he plays well early, then his trade value goes up. That was my thought on Tua.
No, I'm getting rid of all of them. Everybody who had something to do with last season or that Tua contract extension, Weaver would have been the only exception. But Greer is gone, McDaniel is gone, Tua is gone, Marvin Allen is gone. Channing, I got to sweep this whole organization of that poor thinking, of them thinking 2023 was a successful season, of them thinking Tua deserved a contract extension, of them thinking having the number one offense is a great accomplishment. That way of thinking no longer exists in this organization. You're all getting the hell out. And I don't mean that as a derogatory way. I mean that as a clean sweep way a new way of thinking. We're thinking about winning and moving forward, not taking these participation trophies. Tua was part of that. He's got to go.
So why keep Slowick as the offensive coordinator, or elevate him for that matter, if you're Hafley or if you're Sully? Do you like that decision? Because based on what you're saying, Perk, it kind of sounded like, hey, it's time to literally remove any remaining members of any personnel or players that were really tied to Mike McDaniel. And I mean, Slowick was brought in by McDaniel and essentially was working alongside him.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. We'll see how that works out, Solana. But yeah, I would have gone outside. I don't know, exactly what they have, why that decision was really made. I know that they like Slowick, and he's well versed in that Shanahan system, and what happened with C.J. Stroud in Houston, that was a lot tied to offensive line as opposed to being tied to the offensive coordinator. But overall and in general, I would have cut ties with everybody with that organization, with the Greer McDaniel regime. So we'll see how Bobby Slowick works out at offensive coordinator.
And another thing we talked about when Hafley had his press conference, and Sully and all the new guys that you're talking about, Perk, they said the key words that I love. I had to look back in my notes to find the list of keywords: tough, violent, and physical. And those are words I love in football. Is our roster prepared for tough, violent, or physical? Is there going to have to be a big turnover to be tough, violent, and physical? Because as we're looking at teams, like we're looking at the Super Bowl this week, those are the teams that make it are tough, physical, and violent.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting you say that, Shannon. So, we got two defensive coaches in the Super Bowl, right? Mike McDonald from Seattle and Mike Vrabel for New England. And the Dolphins just hired a defensive coach in Jeff Hafley. I like those words too, Channing. And look, I would take this all the way to the draft. I wrote about a few of these types of players this week. Lee Hunter, the defensive tackle from Texas Tech, who would probably be a second-round option. This kid, Keelan Rutledge from Georgia Tech, who's a guard. The Dolphins don't necessarily need a guard, but this dude was driving guys into the ground. Very physical, very aggressive. Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, could be a first-round option, but he's an aggressive guy. I have him taking Munster Delane, the cornerback from LSU. He's a good cover corner, but yes, Channing, I want to see aggression. So if you're a cover corner, or if you're an aggressive trench player, or if you're an aggressive safety, I think setting that attitude, following Patrick Paul and following Aaron Brewer and Jordan Brooks and some of these guys, that's the type of team that I want to see. And I'm with you. I liked hearing those buzzwords in the opening press conference. I want to see them follow through with that in the draft and free agency and style of play and everything. No more finesse football.
All right, well, let's get to the important stuff here, because this is our faux Radio Row, even though Crowder's boots on the ground in San Fran. How will Chris Perkins be watching the Super Bowl on Sunday? Paint the picture for us.
Oh, man, you know what? I haven't really decided yet how I'm going to watch the Super Bowl, but I always like to have something representative food-wise of both cities. So
I like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might try and get like some Dungeness crab for Seattle, although that would be very, very expensive.
I was thinking a cup of coffee, because they love their coffee up in Seattle.
Little Starbies.
That's what I was going to say. I might just have to wuss out and get myself a cup of coffee, but I got to do something big. So I don't know if a lobster roll could work for Boston. I could do a lobster roll. If it's still cold, some clam chowder would do. But I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna have some people over, or if I'm gonna go over to somebody's house yet. I haven't figured that out.
I was saying at the beginning of the show, I got a text from my friend Dr. Chuck, and I love him, and I love the fact that he acknowledges who I am. It's a group chat with a bunch of people, and he texted, "Hey, my twins, his daughters, are hosting a Super Bowl party. You all and your wives are invited. I realize that Hawk will not come, but wanted to invite you all nonetheless." And I love someone who is a friend enough to acknowledge that I don't need to concoct some phony baloney reason why I'm not coming. He knows I don't want to go anywhere. I enjoy watching on my couch, devoid of any other people other than my wife.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know what? And here's the thing, Hawk. For most big games, if I care about the game, I want to watch it alone or, maybe with one, maybe two other people, because I don't want all the distractions. I don't want all the talk and all the chatter. Like the Final Four I can watch with other people, but depending on who's in the NBA Finals, if it's a Game 7 or World Series Game 7 or something like that, I'm with you. Super Bowl, I usually want a very small, controlled crowd because I really want to focus on the game, and I don't want to be the jerk who tells people to be quiet.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy, Hot.
And Brother Perk, and I'm not saying that because I'm talking about church. My brother, it's been kind of cold in South Florida, something that we have on this show. I'm not turning my damn heater on in South Florida. I don't give a damn what temperature it is in my house. Solana turns his heater on. Hawk's a heater guy. Perk, have you turned your heater on in the last week?
Not yet. Not yet, Crowder. I'm with you. Look, I'm
my brother.
I'm sitting up here in sweats right now, and because I remember how look, Mama Perkins. She used to open up the oven, Crowder, and we used to have the heat coming in like that, man. And so we didn't want to turn up that gas bill, run up that gas bill. She would have the oven open, and we would heat the house like that. So I haven't turned it on yet.
Well, let me ask you this,
and I think we're past the worst.
Let me ask you this, Brother Perk.
Yep.
Did you smoke any heaters this weekend?
Are we on the record or off the record? Because I do have a license. That's all I'm going to say. That's all we're going to say about that.
We'll see you, Perk. We appreciate the time, and let us know what you end up doing for your Super Bowl Sunday menu.
All right, we'll see you.
We'll see you, Perk. That's Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel. It is Super Bowl week. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with more Hochman, Crowder, and Solana.